under a diamond sky.
I am recording. Hi everyone, this is Luchino again, top 50, well, no, whatever. Hi everyone, this is your daily dose of Galatea. This is Hunter tier list for season 15 after adjustments going to season 16. We'll be talking about hunters for today, since I did survivors yesterday and people wanted hunters. So here I am today. Our list will be meta tier, niche picks, team comp dependents, toy hunters, fun to play and underwhelming. As usual, we will start with our main guy Leo. Leo would be underwhelming, very underwhelming, having the slowest movement speed, the slowest charge attack in the game, and the slowest charge attack in the game. Despite having puppets and a clone, it is very easy to kite him. He is very RNG based, luck based, or random number generator based, because his clone may sometimes go for the survivor that you're chasing, or it may sometimes just walk a whole way 180 degrees, and you're just there like, where the feck is my clone? Leo is also underwhelming simply because you need presence, as people and like sometimes survivors, like high tier survivors, will not rescue, or even they know how to rescue from you because of his puppets, of course, even though when they chair. Next we have Smiley Face. Smiley Face would be considered as fun to play in my opinion, not as much for Toy Hunter, even though he does have Rocket Dash, which enables him to go around the map really fast finding survivors. Survivors could also tight kite him, which is why his Rocket Dash is not viable, right? Including the point being able to double hish may allow him to camp better, but we have the likes of Seer, Priestess and Merc to counter him. Having able to double hit may be good, but at the same time, really not worth in high rank, though we have seen a lot of videos from Happy Bud with like number 1 Joseph, number 1 Smiley and number 1 Leo. It's just very hard, honestly. Next we will have Ripper. In my opinion, Ripper would definitely be fun to play, but in front of Smiley Face. Because of his invincibility, it'll honestly scare survivors away, and his Foggy Blade, which allows him to double hish, allows him to increase his movement speed to close the distance, the gap between him and the survivors, and being able to perform like basic hits, extra hits, or even just to like, you know, terror shock sometimes, who knows. Ripper is good. We have seen top 1 Rippers from Smiley Face. Oh no, not from Smiley Face, from Happy Bud and Black YouTube. But like, I think their main counters would definitely be Priestess. Like these two, their main counters would definitely be Priestess. So yeah, he is considered as fun to play. Next we will have Bane. After Bane's adjustments, in my opinion, I still think he's considered as fun to... Well, no, we'll put him as Toy Hunters. Why? Because he's able to spam his hook, which means he can reduce survivors' movement speed by 8%, able to stack up to 3% every single time, which is 24% decrease in movement speed, which is quite a lot to be honest, enabling him to receive a free hish or even hook the survivors towards him and then hish, which is very nice as well, including the fact that he is able to use traps. Well, not around chair, which is fair, but like traps, you know, when falling down, vaulting windows, and like in between pallets. This enables him to, you know, block survivors' path, which is really good. A really good Toy Hunter because he can close distance very fast and also be able to place traps. Next we will have Spider. Spider will not be having what do you call it? Spider will not be having new adjustments, but she is very team comp dependent. Because for example, if you had like a forward on the team, you could have a Spider on just to counter forward, Or even if you have a coordinator on the team, you can have Spider, you can have Violetta, you can have Soul Weaver just to counter them. So for Violetta, she's very team comp situational. In my opinion, she's definitely still like a B plus or a A minus tier, like in between dash section. Being able to increase movement speed and decrease survivors' movement speed, able to camp chair really well, and able to throw cobwebs to slow down survivors, revealing their location, and like, you know, just increasing her own movement herself. Yeah, she's really team comp dependent. Really just depends on what team you're going against. Next we will have Geisha. Geisha definitely has a nice buff because of her butterflies, able to like the butterfly's movement speed will be increased, which means her dash speed will definitely be increased as well, decreasing survivors' reaction speed. She will now become a TIE Hunter. Not fun to play, TIE Hunter. Now, let me explain why. Apparently, from what I've heard, they're planning to allow Soul Departure to release butterflies as well, which allows her to gain more map control and to like to increase her chair camp. So for example, if you use Soul Departure and you see Doctor, you shoot a butterfly, you dash towards the butterfly, you hit Doctor gets her movement speed, but in exchange there was actually an extra butterfly near the chair. What did Geisha do? Geisha dashed to the chair and then double hitted this Doctor. Boom, beautiful. Reason why she's TIE Hunter is because her map control is limited only to Soul Departure's range, therefore meaning that she cannot travel across half the map or full map, unlike Dream Witch or Galatea. But also, even having Soul Departure, even if you're not gonna add that extra thing like allowing Soul Departure and the butterfly to take, having Soul Departure is nice because you can double hit. In case you didn't know, if you perform a basic attack before, like while falling down before hitting the ground, it will reset your attack recovery instantly. For this, right, it will allow us Geisha users to come up, drop down. If they rescue successfully, you hit them, instantly refreshes your attack recovery speed. Hit again, that'll be a double down, or even like 1 down and 1.5 health, which is really nice if they rescue, of course. But who knows? Geisha will definitely be one of the top TIE Hunters in my opinion. Definitely fun to play, but yeah. Next, we will have Feaster. Feaster will be considered as TIE Hunter as well in my opinion. Not better than Geisha, not better than GameKeeper. Simply because after his nerfs, his attack range will be reduced from 5 to 4.5. And his tentacle recovery speed will be now reduced to normal, even if there is like, take an example, his tentacle speed regens every 10 seconds for the survivor he chases, but if there are 2 survivors around his field of view, it will only regen tentacles if he was only chasing 1 instead of 2. So like instead of double the tentacle regeneration time, it will still remain the same. Therefore, he will be receiving a nerf. Next, we will have Wu Chang. I believe Wu Chang is a niche pick, right? Being like, Wu Chang doesn't work well with Blink. Sometimes doesn't work well with teleports, depending on the team comp. But when you use Wu Chang with peepers, it's exceptionally. You can use him exceptionally well, or like he's very comfortable with peepers, allowing himself to feed persona to himself, to feed presence to himself, being able to stack up onto presence 2, making him very strong late game. Honestly, even with the whole like, you know, umbrella, like being able to hear the umbrella and like decreasing the survivors calibration when performing skill 2 with Blackguard, it wouldn't really affect much in my opinion. Maybe it will for the umbrella one, but he will still become a niche pick. Next we will have Joseph. Joseph is kind of underwhelming in my opinion. He could be fun to play, he could be a TIE Hunter, but the only problem with Joseph is if you know how to counter him, you know how to counter him, right? If you know how to hide, you know how to hide. Like Joseph is just really dependent on his persona and his camera. he'll become a tie hunter or even a loss hunter, becoming a C- tier. Due to the fact that even though he has camera world, he may not find survivors in high tier, which is really hard. You need to be exceptionally smart, like Azrael. Bleber, I think he uses Joseph. Well, no, Bleber does not use it. Azrael, and there's this Devistry. Yes, Azrael and Devistry. You need to be very smart like those two, being able to remember all spawn locations to max your presence. But yeah, he will be considered as a really low tier tie hunter, in my opinion. No, you know what? He'll become fun to play. He's just way too hard to play, and it's way too tiring playing 10-minute games. Though there is no Cypher Rush there, but like it's still really hard. Like not being able to stack presence, it's really hard. Next we will have Mad Eyes. How do I say this for Mad Eyes? I don't play Mad Eyes much, but he's gonna get a new adjustment. His machines will be reduced, his cameras will be reduced, therefore I believe he will become a little bit underwhelming with the nerf incoming. They will also remove some cameras that is in like Sacred Hearts Hospital. As they've said, they will remove the camera in Carnival House and the one in the main house with 2 stories on it. He will become underwhelming due to this nerf. Even though we've seen Japanese players play really well. Well, you know what? Just because Japanese players play really well with him, I believe he's really fun to play. He could become insanely good, but if you know how to kite him, then yeah. There's honestly to God no points in using him high tier. Unless you're really good at him, of course. I'm not saying he's bad. But like, if they know how to kite you, they know how to kite you. If there's a seer on the team, Seer will give the owl and continue to chase, if you know what I mean. Like, you need 2 hits for presence 1. So like, if Seer's on the team, you need 3 hits, which is an oof moment. Next, we will have Dream Witch. Dream Witch will still remain meta tier in my opinion, even after that nerf, the 20-second nerf. But she will become a S-. Being able to alert survivors when she changes followers is like a really huge advantage for survivors. But at the same time, when her followers use traits, every other follower, including Dreamwitch, will increase trait by 20 seconds. I honestly think that's fair. Well, that's kind of unfair, but at the same time, I don't really mind. At the same time, like, if they remove the notification to survivors and allowed the 20-second, that's fair. If they allowed the notification and removed the 20 seconds, I think that's fair. But not gonna lie, in a nutshell, I believe she will still remain meta tier no matter what. Next we will have Axeboy. Axeboy will still become a niche pick even after his nerf. His fireball range will be reduced from 36 meters to 32 meters, and his peaceful pine tree will be nerfed. Also including the fact that being able to slow down survivors after leaving corrupted zone every 4 seconds, I think that's fair as well, due to the fact that it is really annoying for survivors and it reduces the movement speed significantly by a lot. He will become a niche pick, maybe not. I'm still contemplating between is he better than Uchan or not, but we'll see. But he will become niche pick. He will not be lower than niche pick at all. Oh, next we will have Luchino. Sadly, Luchino will become tie hunters. Because if you know how to kite Luchino, then like he will become a tie hunter. The fact that he's gonna increase his jump from 9 seconds to 11 seconds is a nerf. But what I think the biggest nerf is the skill animation increased. Why is this here? I'll explain why skill animation is so crucial in this game. Survivors can see up in the air. If they can see your skill animation coming down, dashing at you, they can immediately respond. Increasing your skill animation is like oof moments on all Luchino players because it'll give the survivors way more time to react. He is also punished for using jump from 9 seconds to 11 seconds. I think it's unfair when they say when survivors try to rescue, like Luchino can instantly come down and survivors cannot, you know, respond. But I believe that's really only top tier Luchinos that can do that. So what they're doing is they're gonna challenge top tier Luchinos even more, which is why now he'll become a TIE hunter. Even though he's able to dash from one side of the map to another, his increased in animation skill is probably the thing that will kill him the most. Not his cooldown increased by 2 seconds, it'll be his skill animation increased. We'll see how much it affects him for now, but he will become a TIE hunter for this tier list. Next we have Bloody Queen. Bloody Queen will be in front of Wu-chan for sure. Let me explain why. Even though Wu-chan can teleport from one part of the map to another part, Bloody Queen being able to have her mirror at the start of the match is insane. Like, some Bloody Queen mains, they mirror, because they know spawn locations, they mirror the instant teleport, the chase continues. No time wasted at all. Or even like some Dream Witches can, you know, some Dream Witches may go to the nearest survivor and sees the survivor, pulls out the mirror and then hits perfect hit 1, blinks, perfect blink 2, downs in like, I don't know, probably 30 seconds because of that one good mirror, or 50 seconds because of that blink. So like early down will be insanely good depending on your team. In CO Chinese leagues we see that it takes her a while to do it, or even she hasn't been picked all, but in IVL leagues it takes her a while to do it simply because it's a 4-man team and they know how to rotate. They genuinely know how to rotate, which is why, like, yeah, it's gonna take Bloody Queen a little while to find the survivor that she wants to go to. But normally in high tier ranked they wouldn't really rotate as much. So that's it for me for Bloody Queen. Bonbon will become higher than Bloody Queen. Why? Because of his camp. His camp is insanely well, even though, like, how do I say this? His camp will not be better than Galatea simply because they removed his skill, his interaction animation when damaging survivors, which means they're allowed to rescue without worry. But there's one problem to this. Good Bonbon players know how to use their Presence 1 skill. They know how to chip with that controlled time bomb. Right, they throw it down, they chip instantly, and then like when the rescuer comes, they instant chip, half health, boom, done. I believe his chair camp will not be affected as much, because like it really just depends on the bomb I'm looking out for. Oh, what survivor is coming? I need to chip this guy as fast as possible, right? Also, the fact that his bomb cooldown per chip has been increased by 0.2 seconds is not really gonna be that much. Like, I don't think it's gonna be that much. His Presence 2 increasing his bomb cooldown from 4 to 5 seconds. I think that may impact him a little bit, but not too much. His chair camp is still gonna be insane. Let me state, his chair camp will still be insane. Top Bonbon players will know how to counter this nerf, which is why he will still become a niche pick, not meta tier pick, simply because he doesn't have a lot of map control, sadly. And sometimes for Bonbon, if they don't rescue, then that's a really oof moment, which is why Bonbon players use Control Freak. Galatea players don't use, well, we'll go to Galatea later. Now we have Anne. We've seen Anne in a lot of Koa. Right? I wanted to put her as fun to play, but she will now become a niche pick in front of Wu-chan. She's not getting any adjustments, but as we have seen from Koa leagues, how they've used Anne, how they've used their cats, I think this has shined a new light to Anne players. Being able to close the distance, the gap, to stun, to use destructiveness and then hit instantly. I think this creates a lot of difference for Anne players. She will become a niche pick, okay? She's not having any adjustments, but she's gonna become a niche pick no matter what. More people are definitely gonna use Anne. Her cats are hard to dodge, but still dodgeable. But like even if you dodge her cats, she can still use her passive trait to close the gap and hit you. Her only counter is honest be to God Seer. But like and map pressure, which is why she takes teleport and control freaks depending on the hunter. But due to the fact that we've seen Anne in Koa leagues now, she will become a niche pick. A really good niche pick, of course. Next we will have Violinist. Violinist will be staying on a niche pick tier in front of Anne because he's able to slow survivors down with his demonic notes, being able to double hit, and when Presence 2 opens, being able to double hit in an area, which is really nice. His tight kiting is insane as well. So like, imagine survivors going through a pallet, you can instantly use your demonic notes for that. No, his strings for that, to chip them once and then hit them again for that double hit down. The reason why he's a niche pick is because of his demonic notes. Being able to use demonic notes and throw them globally across the map is insanely good to reduce interaction speed and movement speed. Like broski, this is insane. Still gonna stay as niche pick. I don't think he will become team comp dependent, but because like I genuinely believe he could go against anyone. But like yeah, it really just depends. Still niche pick, no adjustments made for him. We'll go Galatea last. Percy will be niche pick as well. But no, not niche pick. Team comp dependent pick. Why? Because he's similar to Geisha, but better. Because you don't really need to camp, right? And including the fact that you don't have to chair survivors. If you guys remember, his buff is that when all survivors are gone, bleed effect will be increased by 300% if I recall correctly. Therefore survivors are not able to take dungeon, or very hard for them to take dungeon, right? What else is there? There's also his closing the gap, like his distance closing is insanely good. His area damage is insanely good as well. But though it is charged, but I still think it's really good. He counters forward, he counters merc, he counters coordinator. Who else does he counter? He counters prospector, he counters melee, he counters any stun heroes, to be honest with you on that part. He even counters perfumer if you don't chase her first because of her skill 2. Like the stunning and the extra damage, that definitely counters perfumer, like honestly. So Percy will be team comp dependent. Who do we have next? We have Paloon. I haven't seen many people playing Paloon, I'll be honest. But I think he will become either niche or team comp dependent. But if you want my honest opinion, he's definitely a niche. No, he's gonna be below Axeboy because I want to put him between Team Comp and Niche. Wait, no, he's in front of Axeboy, my bad. He's in front of Axeboy. This guy will not be receiving any buffs or nerfs. He'll remain the same after adjustments, of course. But like being able to go around the map faster than Joker is like damn boy. Which is why Smiley Face is fun to play. You have Poly instead of Smiley Face to go around the whole map. Being able to stack needles to single hit down blink a survivor is also really good, being like a niche pick. He has what? A, map control, B, gap closing distance, C, chair camp, because he can go around the map and then give survivors needles, which means that he can, you know, basically kind of like Terror Shock, but not really Terror Shock, but it's still a really good chair camp, in my opinion. And Cypher control as well, using his wheel. Okay, that is Palu. Now, lastly, we'll have Galatea. Galatea will take quite a while. What? The Queen is back. Better than Dream Witch. As we all have heard, Galatea will be receiving a nerf. Chisel nerf. Reducing chisel usage from 16 seconds to 12 seconds. Yes, reducing chisel usage from 16 seconds to 12 seconds, if I recall correctly, and increasing cooldown by 3 seconds, which is 12 to 15 seconds. Also, her chisel area will be reduced from 16 meters to like 12 meters, I think. I think that's fair, and y'all might scream at me. Your top 50 Sculptor, how is that fair? It is fair. Because like this punishes us Sculptor users for messing up our chisel. I'll be releasing a chisel guide for everyone, mobile and PC, for everyone to like not get punished because of that nerf, of course. But like just increasing our skill cooldown for chisel by 3 seconds will not affect us as much. But like if it's 8 seconds, like increasing from 12 seconds to 20 seconds, I will go to NetEase and complain. Not gonna lie. Lol. So it is quite fair, honestly, for us Sculptor users. Reason why Sculptor is S tier, I believe if you've watched iAlien's video, he already said this. She is a snowball hero. Snowball as in when a snowball rolls down the hill, it'll get bigger, bigger, stronger and stronger. Same for Galatea. The more the game proceeds, the better she gets. Even if there are 2 ciphers remaining and the survivors on chair for the first time, if you can chair cam properly, great, you tied the game. If you can chair cam and cipher cam, great, you most likely, like, you have a 60% to win the game. What else is there? Imagine you down a survivor in like 5 seconds. They can't cipher rush you. Ha 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 ha. Why? You have Chisel. Sculptor is definitely S tier for the Chisel, of course, which is why I main her. So yeah, that is for Sculptor. We'll most likely be having a new hunter coming out. I think it may be a mermaid, just by looking at like Ember and our new female character, couple character, of course. So yeah, we'll be seeing how that comes in the next season. Hello, my name is Kuroshiro and I am your top 50 Galatea user. This is your season 15 after adjustments tier list. I hope you enjoyed this and I'll see y'all the next one. See ya!